We're here.
Yes, we are here.
Episode 70, season finale, World of Controversy podcast. This is the World of Controversy podcast, episode 70.
This is the World of Controversy podcast. The podcast that give you all forms of controversy.
Wow, man, the dollop speed today is ridiculous. What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, 70 episodes of World of Controversy podcast. I'm super excited. We got really good guests. We got another guest coming on for the second half. Would this guest like to introduce himself?
Yeah, hey, I'm Bojan Milinic, and I got a bachelor's degree in geology and environmental science from Kutztown University, and then I went to Temple for master's, and now I'm just working with the U.S. Geological Survey, doing geology, really work with water work, a lot of Python programming, but I'm excited for today's thing.
Awesome. That's really good. You know, I went to school with Bojan. Really good guy, smart dude, top of the class. I'm telling you. So I'm super excited. We got a really good guest today, and then we got Act the Wizard. Preferably, he'll be here in a few seconds. And you know, super glad to do 70 episodes of World of Controversy podcast. It's been a labor of love, independent, black-owned, Christian-owned podcast. You know, there's not too many of us happening out and about here, Rob. You know that, right? There's not too many of us out here.
Not too many of us.
Yeah.
But we still going strong,
Yeah, we try.
We try. No, we go strong, brother.
We try enough. I'm looking through my notes. My notes are everywhere. I got doodles in here. But today we'll be talking about what, Julian?
Creation.
Creation. Wow.
The story of creation.
The origin of life. And I'm super excited. It's been a topic I've been wanting to talk about actually for a while now. I never really I've always tried to figure this thing out where how did we come to this place where we're at today? You know, where life sitting on a planet, we can breathe, you know, we can interact, we can reproduce, we can do so many different catalytic reactions. So what is life, and how the heck did we get here to start with? Bojan, I just want to ask you, what do we have the right definition for what life is, and how did we get here, in your opinion?
Well, I guess what would be your definition of life?
I think it has to come down to like consciousness, like a conscious being able to reproduce and able to create some type of reaction of some sort, biological reaction. Energy might be in the definition somewhere.
Energy,
but not movement. Mobility actually is not needed for life, I don't think. There are some things that are alive that don't move.
Yeah, you talking about trees?
Okay, well, yeah.
Come on, brother. That's what you're talking about.
Right. Okay, let's talk about some bacteria without a flagellum, without that tail behind it. So some of them can't really move. Yeah. They just filter in, right? Some stuff filters through them, but we know that there's some type of reaction happening and they can reproduce. So that's alive too. If you touch an organism in a certain way, it'll move though. That's another way we can tell it's alive. There's a reaction that takes place after we manipulate it somehow.
After we manipulate it.
Yeah.
So how do we manipulate?
Well, that's a good question. Like chemically, like if I put biologically, okay. If I put two of the same type next to each other, which are different genders, would they mate? Would they produce something other than its own?
Or how about creating these hybrids? But we're gonna say that for another episode.
Creating hybrids.
Like hybrid gender?
I was talking about
hybrid
the animals.
Beings. Hybrid species. Okay.
Species, yes.
Yeah.
No, well, that's a good question. Well, that's a really good point, just because it's like if you're only focusing on reproduction and stuff like that, you know, you can have like a liger technically. You can have
mule.
or a mule, but they can't really reproduce.
No, they can't.
And so there is a big, I guess, scientifically trying to define life perfectly is really difficult, because even something like a virus why is that not considered a life? You know, like that's how interactive it is. It's almost defining life is almost like, when is something programmatically just doing something, kind of like a virus? It just reacts to its environment, versus defining life, I guess. Yeah, it's hard to find one set definition for that.
Right. Living organisms. How did they get here?
Oh, one more thing. We do got a comment by Truth.
We got comments.
Light.
We got comments.
And she says some organisms can self-reproduce. Replicate, too.
Some organisms can self-replicate, just like the virus, which he was talking about, which some people argue is not alive.
Now,
Correct.
is this your boy up here, the Baffy Biwa? Well, because he said these boys don't know what life is about. They just go to college.
Oh.
He got me cracking up with this one.
So we're reading comments on our live, of course, WOC_podcast. Listen, we know what life is about. We've been doing this thing for a while. Some of us have been alive since the late 90s. Okay, so let's cut that out right now. So Julian, help me out, man. Where life come from?
Help you out where life come from, because some people believe that it came from a hole, right, in space, right?
Okay.
That matter is all constraint in this one little hole. Once light came, and all this energy burst, and all the planets just came, and life just came out of it. As we call it, the Big Bang Theory. Everything created out of nothing, right?
Okay, so a singular dense hole.
Yes, like a singularity.
A singular. Oh, wait a minute. Now wait 1 second.
Oh, let me
now wait
one
1 second, brother. No,
It's cooking.
it's not getting me excited. The singularity. Wow.
The singularity. Yes.
Yeah. Oh man. So the singularity, and then all life, all the universe came out of that.
Yes.
And the alternate dimensions of the universe. Now, does that come out of the Big Bang, or did our universe come out of the Big Bang? But there were other universes pre-Big Bang. I've considered this, and I've thought about this. And when they bring up like string theory, you know, there's other universes they say that's parallel to ours. And I wonder, well, do they think that all those universes came from the Big Bang or the singular dense point also? I've thought about that, right? Like a parallel universe. Would that origin also come from a Big Bang, or the Big Bang, or a different Big Bang?
That's a good question. Now, the Big Bang Theory, whether that's how everything created itself, but if we really go there, right? All right, so we got the Big Bang Theory, which everything came out of nothing, right?
Yes.
Then
That's what they
we
said.
can go into the story of Genesis,
Okay.
all right?
Help me out.
Where the heaven and earth was already here without void. Well, God created the heaven and earth. The earth was here without void. And what did God say? He said, let there be light. There was light. Created the animals. Came in night and day. Humans. All within 7 days.
All within
Well,
7 days.
6 days. The 7th day he rested.
Right.
Correcting myself. Thank you.
No, that's something to think about, because I was actually listening to someone talk about theistic evolution.
Theistic evolution. Let's
People kind of put in the Big Bang Theory and the millions, billions of years that the universe formed into the theological idea that God created the earth, which, a lot of us would agree with. I'm under the belief God did create the earth. But there's some people who have a gap theory that the Big Bang happened. And, all this universe, it expanded. That's what they say, that it expanded. In fact, even if you look at the motion of the sun today, the motion of the sun is still moving. And we're orbiting around that in a forward motion from where the Big Bang happened. Some people say all this stuff took place before the formation of our planet, where God said he separated the waters from the waters, and maybe the "Let there be light" section of the Bible was God calling for the Big Bang. This is something called theistic evolution.
I heard something like that. I was going to bring something like that up. You always be taking stuff that I was going to bring up. I feel like he be taking my notes sometimes.
Remind you, there's only one person out of the three of us with notes here.
I feel like he be taking
remind you. Someone ain't bring their iPad today. There's only one person here with notes.
I do got my iPad. I just didn't bring it out.
See, here we go.
Hey, here we go. You see my bag over there.
This is what I'm talking about. 70 episodes.
70
episodes.
You always be you always be stealing my idea. Or I was going to say, I swear, it's always happening. I'm like, God.
Well, let me tell you something that wasn't in them notes.
Uh-oh. What?
Did you know that the Catholic Church,
the
Catholic Church, they officially adopted theistic evolution. So that's kind of how they believe. They do believe in evolution.
You know why? Because the guy who came up with the Big Bang Theory was a Catholic priest.
What?
Yes. The guy that came up with the Big Bang Theory was a Catholic priest. Belgian physics.
Really?
Yes.
Holy cow.
George I may not say his last name right.
Right.
George Latimer.
Okay. Wow.
Well, I don't think they're necessarily like mutually exclusive. You can have I almost feel like religion and science kind of work together for different parts of just figuring out what truth is. Like I don't think you can get to truth just by getting one or the other. So, science ultimately came from religious people anyway at some point.
Wow.
So
yeah.
I think it's different. I think too many times the argument ends up being like one against the other when it's really how do they complement each other, or how does one lack something that the other one can make up for?
Right.
Something like that.
Right. Absolutely. What is your belief on this, Bojan?
Well, I haven't heard too many kind of cases for the mixing. So I guess like the 7 days. So he made light, and then did he make all the animals and everything in like a day or something like that?
So
including dinosaurs and.
I don't know. Hitting on something. So you're hitting on something, okay? Now, the word dragon or monster, some people believe that could have been referring to dinosaurs. And I believe it was day 3, he created sea monsters, quote unquote sea monsters, and he created the birds and the sea monsters, sea animals, aquatic animals on day 3. So that was the same day. There was another day he did create land animals. So in the creation theory, in the creation actuality, in my opinion, which actually happened, which I'm not actually an evolutionist as I want. I want to be clear about something right now off the bat. I believe in natural selection. I think if you don't believe in natural selection, you're not looking at science that we can prove within the last 50, 60 years. To say evolution in its whole concept as a theory is correct, I think I'm not with that. I am not under the belief every organism came from one singular organism. That's my personal opinion, Bojan.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta understand. I do not. I believe there. Now I will go on to say I do not want to make it seem like every animal we have today was on that ark, or every animal we have today was here 2,000 years ago, or every animal that we have today was here in the Garden of Eden. I'm not saying that.
So you're
but
saying you believe in some evolution?
I believe in some type of evolution. Yeah.
Some type of evolution.
But I will say that some animals had to adapt to their environment.
To adapt. Now,
But to say that they all evolved from one organism, I will forever be against that idea. And it's clear that in Genesis 1, there were certain animals made on certain days. And I don't know how you can refute this. And, to all the people who say, well, where are the dinosaurs in this? And just like I said, there are words like unicorn, there's words like dragon, there's words like monster in the Bible that could give some proof to what we call a dinosaur today could be.
well, some people think dinosaurs evolved from the dragons. Or I ain't gonna go there.
But it goes back to what are we calling a dinosaur, though? Because help me out. Wait, Rob, help me out. The term dragon is older than the term dinosaur. Am I wrong? So my thing is
Well,
we
I
don't have
just
to.
said.
We
So
don't have.
that-
To, but Rob, we don't have to determine what a dragon is. We need to determine what a dinosaur is. You know what I mean? And someone in the comments says you are right, Germ. No, I read that one, Rob. Yeah, my eyes get real good when I see my name. Whoever that is, thank you. We're reading comments on the podcast today. We got Bojan in the studio, by the way. We pulled him all the way from Reading. And we got Julian and Rob on the track, like always. World of Controversy podcast. Julian.
All right. Well, like you said dragon is older than dinosaur, right?
As a term.
As a term. All right. Now, I just said some people believe dinosaurs evolved from dragons, right? We already established. You just established what I said. Dragons the older term, whatever.
Yes.
Whether we go with dragons are the dinosaurs or dinosaurs evolved from dragons, whatever.
Yeah.
They was here on this earth at one point.
Okay, so where in this book are we seeing mesiopods or forgive me. I get these words confused. I guess we call them today horseshoe crabs. And you can find them in the geological time scale. Now, we got geologists on the show. I'm going to ask him what I think. If you go to the furthest parts of the rocks, you could take a scale. You could take a core, and you could see the fossils all the way at the bottom. And you'll see little creatures, and they call them mesiopods, I thought, or pedopods, or some type of pod. I don't know. There's some type of pod.
Can we not use that?
Yeah, pause on the pod. Yeah, pause on that. Yeah, pause on that. Actually, yeah, nah. Excuse me, forgive me. They are not no pedopods. That's a different show, and that's in a different formation. And it's definitely not what I meant. Forgive me. What I wanted to say is that there's creatures similar to a horseshoe crab.
Mm-hmm.
And these horseshoe crabs now...
Trilobites?
Excuse me?
Trilobites. Right. That's what Trooping to the Light said.
Trilobite? Trilobite?
Yeah, that's...
Forgive me. Where did I get the pod thing then?
That's in the fossils?
Yeah. I thought it's something with a pod. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, maybe that's what they call them today. Trilobites. Now, that do sound right. Okay, so there's fossils of those. Where is this mentioned in the book, Rob? Where is this mentioned in the book?
In the Bible?
Yeah.
As of what I know, as of right now, I don't see anything mentioned about those in the Bible.
Okay.
Have you?
I have not.
You're a Bible scholar now.
I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm just asking you. You the
Oh,
man
you
of God.
are
So I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Hold on. You
Where
are the man
are-
of God too, and you are a Bible scholar on
I
here.
am a man of God. I'm trying to understand where this
See,
is.
he's not trying to claim what he is, but this is the thing.
I think another good. Well, no, so go ahead.
No, go ahead, Bojan. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
go
cut
ahead,
him
go
off.
ahead, because I'm gonna grill him in a minute. I'm gonna
Please.
grill in a minute.
Please cut him off.
Well, I was.
No. I'm still gonna grill you.
Okay.
If your
All right, you can
pastor
grill
was
me
here,
afterwards. You can
here
grill
you
me
talk
afterwards.
about this.
I'm
Well,
asking. Wait, but Rob, I'm asking a clear-cut question. Every evolutionary biologist will go back to organisms you can't find in this book. But it's clear that the Bible says this was created on this day, flock of the earth. There's no mention of a dodo bird or nothing. I'm trying to understand, why are these organisms, every time they bring these up, I can't find them in the book, but I can find dragon in this book. I can find monster in this book. So we got to start contextualizing our terminology, because trilobite is not in that 66 books of the Bible. Am I wrong? You know, but what if that looked kind of like a monster at one time, or some type of dragon? I'm just trying to put some pieces together, Bojan. You know,
Yeah.
because it's clear that there's some organisms back then that are not here today. And it's clear that the texts that we have today none of them are mentioning these organisms. None of them. You know?
Now you know we have went through. There are some organisms that has been made by biohybrids.
Okay.
We got hybrids that's going out there. We got some organisms that have been chemically modified. And we ain't had all that in Bible time.
Excuse me?
What animal been chemically modified in the Bible time?
Man, we could go back to the theories on Atlantis, man. People been manipulating DNA since the oldest of times, to some people. I'm not saying I believe it. Look at the Manador, or Manator, however you... she got me. And she understand what I'm talking about, Rob. You're around some smart people, man. But anyway, unicorn is in the Bible. Now, what the heck is a unicorn? Help me out. Some people say it was a rhino. Some people say they were referring to a rhino. Unicorn, one horn. Come on. Look. All I do is read, and I look some of this stuff up, and I talk to enough people, and they tell me what I need to know. Truth in the light. She got a comment. Help me out, Truth. AB, what you got to say, AB?
Read the comment.
I can't read. I can't read that at all.
What she said,
What'd she say, though?
is maybe these were categorized, but they don't have the science jargon we have today.
Okay. No, stop right there, Rob. Stop right there. We got to like where she's going.
Okay, let's go.
This predates Linnaeus.
Who?
Linnaeus is the guy that categorizes these animals. Am I wrong, Bojan? Bojan gonna back me up on this. We only have the study of taxonomy. All right. Now, this is a science that's been around for less than 200 years old. Maybe the 1800s.
She said like rhinos or trilobites or dodo birds.
Yeah, like the rhino, the trilobite, or the dodo bird. So she's like, okay, well, we have these skeletons, we have these fractures in the ground, and we're looking at them maybe as a different being. But what if these are similar or the same being, or they're not as far away as you think to the animals we have today? Wow.
Well, the timeline of that is also kind of important.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
that's true.
It's always arguable that they changed a certain way or the names changed, but I think the hard thing is that there's a certain, just looking at the strata, and you can tell kind of the oldest things versus the newest, and that's how they kind of try to estimate.
Yes.
And I guess trying to figure out, did the Bible say that humans came first and then animals?
No, it was animals first, then humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's certain animals in a certain order.
There is certain animal in a certain order.
Oh.
Water creatures and flocks were first.
Water creatures and what?
flax, birds, flying animals,
But
and then land animals, and then people.
but at
The Bible's
same
clear
time,
about this.
it is clear, and it's clear that he gave us dominion over these animals, right?
Yes.
As Adam, right,
Yeah.
was in charge of the animals.
Yes.
Yes. So when we go into that, you also gotta mention where the wife come from.
All right, now that's a whole nother episode, my
That's
brother.
a whole nother-
Now, where you trying to get at, brother? Now, where you trying?
Where the wife come from? 'Cause remember, God made Adam look at every animal first.
Yeah.
And when Adam couldn't find him a wife out of any of these animals, they didn't look right. I made him fall asleep and pull that rib out and
Right.
made a woman.
Now,
Made a woman.
so you're telling me there's absolutely no way people could have came from apes
No.
because he pulled that rib out that man to create a woman.
To create that woman.
So he didn't
And-
look at the closest ancestor to mate with. Is that what you telling me?
There ain't no closest ancestors. No.
Rob, is that what you telling me?
Yes, that's why I
So
just
even
said.
if that ape had the closest genetic ability to Adam, wait for it, he couldn't mate with that ape woman.
Look, he could not. Have you
Couldn't.
mate with an ape?
What?
I haven't. I haven't had the opportunity either, but not like no. Oh man, what a controversy podcast. Rob, it's about that time.
What a controversy podcast. Right now we're gonna take a quick break. We're still gonna be live on Instagram, and we'll be right back before you know it. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're black in the mix.
We're
Black in the
back. Black in the mix.
black in the back. Okay. Now, let's get back to this Big Bang Theory. Okay. So I already told y'all the Catholic priest came up with it.
Okay.
All the way up in the 1800s. All right. He's from Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting how you mentioned about the, what is it called? Theism?
Yeah. Theistic creation.
Theistic creation being more incorporated with the Catholic Church.
Right.
All links, okay? Look, they always say we have not been with science, right? Christian and science does not be together. Now,
That's what some say. Yeah.
that's what some say, even though kind of separate the Catholic different from Christian.
Right.
But we'll say that for another episode, okay? We already came
Yeah.
at the Catholic priest, but we
Yeah, we definitely need a Catholic episode.
but we have always been with science. And if you go into some of the real science, right? Real science show that there is a God.
Well, nothing can prove God.
Yeah. Well, I guess
That's what they say.
Nothing can prove God?
No.
Nothing can prove God?
Everyone that goes to him must know that he is.
But nothing can prove God.
You gotta know God.
You do got no God.
But I get what you're saying. You're saying
But,
that there's
I
some
mean,
things that point to God.
A lot of things point to God. The fact that the sun is up.
Yeah. Because in Genesis he says, I'm gonna make a greater light to rule the day and a lesser light
To rule the night.
rule the night.
Come on.
That's what he said.
The
That's
fact
what
that you
Moses
got
wrote.
breath in your body right now.
But the scientists gonna want more than that, Rob.
They want more than that. Well, dust to dust. We was created out of the dust, which we shall return back to dust.
That's true.
Come on, brother.
So, what do you guys think about like the leftover? I think they call it like residual something, but it's like the leftover. most common example, I think, is in humans, where you have the tailbone.
Okay.
So they have that throughout the record, a bunch of different animals that have parts that don't work anymore, and that the thing before it would have used it more likely. And so, I don't know. What do you think about that tailbone? I guess that hints towards evolution.
Yeah.
Germ, you got that.
But that's a good question. I think that there is a little tailbone, and God created us how we are. And again, like I said, there is some clear and natural selection that has taken place that we can see in our lifetime. Not even being scientists. They say people have a different biology or a different physiologic presence up in the mountains. Have you heard this? People in the mountains.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a tribe.
Breathe better.
Yeah, there's tribes. They can breathe better and different altitudes, and they're shorter. You know what I mean? They're shorter up there. Now, this tailbone, this proves or this points to the evolution from a different species. Because really, we gotta start defining terms. What are we gonna call speciation? Are we saying that we're a different species from the animals with tails? When did
We are a different species, brother.
I get what you're saying, but when? When did the cutoff point happen?
Did we ever have tails?
Well, that's my point. I don't know if we ever had tails, but Bojan's saying that someone may point to that little tailbone and say, this could help me point to the fact that there was a time humans in one form or another had tails.
Oh, so we was like the Saiyans.
The Saiyans? Oh, no.
Dragon Ball Z.
No.
I'll agree there.
Like Goku, man, I can tell. No, the only
Dude, I
difference
love
is
that.
you can't look in the full moon and turn into a big ape.
My favorite thing about that has always been like the way they get stronger is getting beat up. I feel like it's a perfect metaphor for us. But anyway, that's a bit of a sidetrack. But
Next, we're gonna turn to Super Saiyans.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm in training.
Here's my thing about that tail thing, and that's a really good question. I'm really thinking about that now. Because, they also say the gallbladder. A lot of us don't need gallbladders either. But that's within the last 300, 400 years. So it goes back to, could this be due to human activity, human behavior causing our lessened need for certain body parts? Maybe there was some type of human behavior where that tailbone came in handy. Some type of human behavior. I can't think of what, but, there was a lot more agriculture work. Maybe the tailbone helped them balance a little bit. I don't know. Don't ask me. I got a mesopod and a telobite confused earlier today. So I'm not really sure, but that's a good point.
Somebody commented saying stay on topic.
Stay on topic.
Uh-oh.
I am staying on topic. Thank you very much. We're the Controversy Podcast. My name is Germ Griffin. We got Julian Rob on the track. Bojan, all the way from Reading. Really good guest today, by the way. Really good guest. We're talking about creation.
So, I just want to say, when they say Big Bang Theory, they mean 10 to 20 billion years ago.
Yes.
Okay?
About 14 billion.
Oh, 14 billion. Okay.
That's what I heard. The estimates. Right. A lot of scientists say 14 billion.
Well, we go to that, right? Now, we already established the Bibles talk about days.
Yeah.
Right? So that is why Big Bang Theory is refuted by the Bible.
Well, would you say, is it... Because I've talked to someone about this before, and do you think it could be like a metaphorical 7 days, where it's a different, at that time, a day would have been measured in a different way or something?
A different way. Okay.
So the word there, and my girlfriend was just talking to me about this. The word there day is Om. Om is the Hebrew word for day in Genesis 1. And that could mean more or less.
Well,
than
even
actual
with
day.
that, then
My problem
can we
with that-
still?
Go ahead, Brad.
Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I just wanted to be clear. It does still say evening and morning was the blank day.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the Bible says evening and morning was the first day. Evening and morning was the second day. Evening and morning was the third day. Now, that is clear, though. Evening and morning was a blank day, but some people say still day could have meant more than one 24-hour day.
Okay, so even with that,
Even
to
with
get the Big Bang Theory, right? We gotta go into time.
yes,
Time before everything was created, right? Now, when we got to God, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is the creator,
Yeah.
right? He wasn't created. God don't have a beginning or an end.
yes,
So we have to go into a beginning for the Big Bang Theory, right? Because apparently all matters was in this tight space and would just explode, bam, and everything was created.
yeah.
Just from nothing, right? Now, all right, I guess some people make the argument, oh, well, God said, let there be light, and there was light.
That is what they say.
That is what they say.
But
Now-
that's where the gap theory comes in.
That
Because
is.
Bojan. The gap is that let there be light, Big Bang happens, and then the rest of creation, I'm gonna separate the waters, I'm gonna create flock of the air and water and
Or-
animals and plant,
or
I'm gonna
that
create
is.
man, I'm gonna create land animal. So they're saying that's the gap.
Oh,
The
yeah.
let there be light is the Big Bang, and the gap is up until the first day. That's what some people's gap theory is. You get what I'm saying? So the
And
gap
I
could be
heard that
billions of
theory
years.
about the gap. Oh, because there was light during the Big Bang, and God said, let there be light, and the Big Bang happened, and whatnot. It still is not accurate.
Why? What? It's just a theory. So how is a theory not even? But help me out.
Let's go in this book, brother.
Bring it up.
Let's go in this
Let's read the
book.
text. Let's read the text.
Let's read the text.
Let's read the
We
text.
going all the way back to Genesis.
The writings of Moses, the first book of Moses.
The
Genesis.
first book. All right, let's go. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Uh-huh.
And the earth was without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Oh.
And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So we already got the Spirit of God that was always moving upon this water, right? So we already saying there's no void of form, but earth was already here, right? The Spirit of God was moving in the waters, right?
So there was already water here.
There was already water here.
So you're saying there's no way it could be a Big Bang because there was already water somewhere. There was already earth somewhere. There was already heaven somewhere.
Yes.
Now, help me out.
Help you out. Come on.
What if he said, let there be light? He said, and the next verse he said, let there be light. And then a Big Bang theory, meaning that the earth predates, wait for it, the Big Bang.
So,
Whoa.
hold on.
Whoa!
Hold on.
Rob,
Wait.
Robinson. The waters predate the Big Bang.
So, that's contradictory.
How? Help me out.
Because if you're saying that the earth came from the Big Bang Theory, all life came from Big Bang Theory, how can the earth predate what created it?
You're saying that. Okay, I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, I got you.
You're right.
Yeah, I got you,
You're
brother.
right. I got you. All right, Bojan, help me out.
Okay, so
Because now I'm confused. What I'm saying. So it can't. So wait a minute. We should have got like a gap theory person over here to really explain how are you putting creation with the theory of the Big Bang.
well, I guess.
Where do these two reconcile?
Yeah. Well, would you say that it is literal 7 days then?
No, he's not saying that. You're not saying literal 24-hour days.
No. I'm not saying literal 24 hours.
But you're saying that Earth had to come first.
Yes.
And there's no way there could have been a Big Bang then the Earth. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
I get what you're saying, Rob.
If the Earth was here first, right?
Yes.
Then how can the Big Bang happen?
Right. I get what you're saying. So the let there be light came after there was a Earth.
Yes. And light came upon the Earth. Right?
Now remind you that word for Earth is a lot of different translations, so too. That word doesn't always mean the planet. Sometimes it could mean the dirt and stuff. Okay, that's a good point. That's interesting. Bojan, what you guys say about all this?
I guess just it is interesting to think how they might kind of play together or how they might not, like the religious aspect of it or the scientific aspect. I guess the hard part is just the huge geologic timeline that they have for everything. And for example, it said that the birds and the sea monsters were made at the same time. Yes. So that, for example, wouldn't really line up with the geologic timescale.
Exactly.
So then it's a question of what source do you consider the most reliable.
Right.
And so, I don't know. I don't know if you can reconcile kind of those two parts, but I would say that's a big sticking point there. Unless the whole geologic timeline, I mean, I guess, would you trust that as a source? Either of?
Rob, would you trust the geological timeline?
Geological timeline.
Prehistoric era, the Mesopotamic, or I don't know all this stuff, man.
I don't know if I
pre-Mesopotamia, pre-human. Let's talk about that.
Maybe some of it, but probably not all of it.
Okay, so help me out. Geology 101 with Dr. Sherrod, right? The stuff at the bottom is always older than the stuff on top.
Yeah.
Except when there's an intrusion, the intrusion always the newest thing. No, are we saying that, Rob, if they took a core out of the land and that you seen there was something, creatures, fossil on the lowest part of that layer, and it don't line up with the book, with your Bible, what are you going to do about that?
It's not line up. It's not line up. The book is the book.
Okay.
If you say that you believe in this book, right?
Yeah.
And that you believe God's word, then everything else does not matter.
Right. Okay.
All right. That's just pretty much it.
Okay.
And the book has proven itself a lot.
That's true.
Yeah. Because a lot of these, predictions, as they say, are coming true. Prophecies have been coming true.
Yeah.
And as prophecies are being unfolded before our very eyes today.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll say that for another episode.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Maybe we'll have an end times episode.
I guess last thing on that, I think that's where it really kind of coming back to the beginning of how you can kind of use both science and religion, that there are certain things the Bible can predict, and there are certain things that science predicts pretty well. Mm-hmm. And again, I guess from my perspective, it's more so using what is appropriate when it works. What is good at predicting kind of the future or predicting what's happening, right? So certain things like whether it's like weather patterns or whatever, or all of that. I don't think those are against each other, I guess, is
Okay.
what I'm saying with that.
Did this planet get created in 7 days? According to the geologic timescale.
No, definitely not according to the geologic time scale.
Bojan, I tell you too, it's true. Oh man, this is too much, yo. World of Controversy podcast. Well, there's some isotopes. There's some decaying, and we can come up with dates for certain layers of rock. But here's my thing, and this is my thoughts on it. What if God just created an old Earth? Couldn't God create an old Earth? Like he said,
aren't we on the old Earth?
well, we are on an old Earth, but you know how some people say this is a young Earth. There's a young Earth theory that the Earth is only like 6,000 years old.
I'm gonna say this.
Or how many thousand years old? Not billions. So what if God created a 6 billion year old Earth out of nowhere? He said, all right, I'm going to create a 6 billion year old Earth.
Okay, and
I'm going to create a 4 billion year old Earth.
Okay, so he has an old Earth, which nowhere in the Bible points to that.
But he just told you about this time scale.
Man,
Rob.
forget that time.
No. Wait. Now hold up, Rob. They took cores.
Don't make me
They
rebuke
took-
you on this show, bro.
Rob, they took cores.
I will rebuke you on this show.
Rob, they took cores.
All right,
Bojan is trying to explain something that they took cores.
Heavenly
They
Father,
did
I'm
radioactive
going to do this in
dating.
the name of the Father, Son, and Holy
These
Ghost.
rocks have been decaying for a while. There's isotopes that could have only come from these rocks being on this planet for billions of years. Am I wrong? Or, this is what they say.
Okay. So let's go into that, right?
Something's up with the time.
Something is up with the time.
Between
because
Adam and Eve being here and let there be light, something got to be up with that time.
I thought I was gonna go into the time from the beginning up to where Christ was even crucified. They already said that was like how many thousands of years?
Yeah.
Right?
We have the genealogy, but that's human history.
Okay.
The dates are telling us there was billions of years pre-human. What are you as a Christian man? What am I as a Christian man? What is Bojan as a questioning Christian man? What are we going to do about this information? Where is this in this book? And this is
Where is it in the book?
Well, I'm asking you, Rob. Because
I ain't see it in the book, brother. And I'm telling you that.
I've been trying to figure out where trilobites in his book. Tetrobite.
Trilobites?
Trilobite. Forgive me.
Yeah,
trilobite. Trilobite. That sounds like some type of storage mechanism for the computers or something. Is that tetrabyte?
All right.
Forgive me, but
brother,
yeah,
brother. Let me come back. So
bring it back.
Let's bring it back.
Bring it back.
Let's bring it back. Bring the beat right back. All right. Now, you want to talk about this old Earth, right? So, you believe there was an Earth before this Earth that we live on?
That's what the science tells us, at least.
Does it?
Wait, what do you mean the Earth before the Earth we live on?
He's saying is
there were
old
creatures
Earth.
living pre-human on this planet billions of years. That we know this because of the fossils. And my question is, could the answer be God created an Earth that is old? Like he created an Earth that already had fossils in it.
Because
that would be deep. That would be nice to mess around with us, but really it is only how many thousands of years old and not billions of years old. I've considered this and I've thought about this and I'm like, God could do it. God could do whatever he wants and God is sovereign. So we got to look into this. we really got to think about this. Now, Bojan, I'm going to be honest. My main source of information will always be the Bible. If he says 7 days, he says 7 days. Now, there's also a passage of scripture that says, a day to you is 1,000 to me, or 1,000 days to you is a day to me. That gives us 6,000. So that helps us out a little, but still not enough to conclude, to explain the full geological time scale. So where are we going to go? God could have created the earth in 6,000 years. Or are we going to go, there was some type of gap between the Big Bang and God creating heavens and the earth? Or are we going to say there was a gap between God creating the heavens and the earth and when he started creating animals? Really interesting. Really interesting stuff. But I'll tell you one thing. The math got to be right because it's clear that them 6 days were 6 of the same unit. We are clear about that because it says evening and morning was the first day. Evening and morning was the second day. Evening and morning was the third day. It had to be the same unit.
That's a really good point.
And I've thought about this enough, Bojan. It ain't like, oh, well, one of the days between the flock and the, That's why only thing I can argue, Julian, and I hear what you're saying, the only thing I can argue is that we did not all come from the same organism.
Oh,
I will always dispute that. I don't care how much into the science I'm in. I will always dispute that we all came from the same organism. And I am under the belief, we don't have a biologist here today, but we had enough genetic variability in the ark to have every species of animal we have today.
All right, I'm going to ask.
Excluding the aquatic ones because they were probably in the water anyway.
And dinosaurs?
I'm,
I had to throw that in there, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
So I'm going to ask you one question about this new earth, or earth, whatever. So do you think God is going to keep creating a new earth?
What do you mean?
Well, you said this was an old earth. This is a young earth, right? That we live on.
It's a young old earth.
Young old earth, right?
Because saying that out loud sounds crazy.
In the Bible.
This could be a young old earth.
Now, in the Bible, it talks about God's going to create a new earth.
He did. It's going to be a new Jerusalem, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a new earth where we will live here with God.
Yes.
So, are we going to keep going through phases of new earth? From what you're saying?
I don't know.
Don't know.
And all of this to be said, we also got to look at when he made the sun, moon, and stars, Bojan.
Come on.
Because, let's be honest, that isn't in order of what we would say with the Big Bang either. He made sun, moon, and stars, on day 3?
I think it was.
Day 1 or day 2 or day 3?
Hold on.
So even with that, the Big Bang is questionable from creation.
Scripture.
I will make lights in the heavens for a sign. So what's the sign? Well, the sign's going to be for seasons. The sign's going to be for us to know when to wake up, when to go to sleep. So he's going to make some stuff in the heavens for us to have a sign. But it seems like that sign would have happened on another day if we wanted to reconcile that with the Big Bang. With that being said, Rob, it's about our time. Bojan, is there anything you would like to promote, my brother?
Nothing in particular. I guess if anyone's interested in learning Python, I teach some classes with OutSchool. If you have like a nephew or a son or anyone who's interested in learning Python, or really anyone, I teach some classes on that on outschool.com. But besides that, nothing really to promote.
Okay. And where can they find your work?
For the teaching stuff is outschool.com, and then work-wise, I probably should have a website, but I don't.
Okay. All right. I guess I could just type your name on the outschool.com and you'll...
Yeah.
come
Or
up
if you
with-
Google Outschool, Python,
classes.
Bojan.
Okay. Bojan. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Like I said, Rob, season finale.
Yes, this is our season finale, episode 70. 70 episodes.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you. We've been in this for 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. Most consistent podcast
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Or one of the most consistent podcasts.
Yes.
And we're still going strong. And
I-
we're going to make it big.
Yes.
Hear my words. We're going to make it big.
We're gonna make it big, y'all.
And we're going to make Joe Rogan type big.
I wanted to make an announcement before we close out the season. I've been telling y'all to follow at germ.griffin for a while. That joint got hacked. Do not follow at germ.griffin07. My joint got hacked. So that's a serious part. The next part I want to say is that thank you to all the viewers that's been viewing our content for a while. I almost want to tear up because we've been doing this for so long. And me and Julian have talked. We're considering rebranding. This is not the end of the show, but you'll see a nice, hopefully clean cut product next season.
A more crisp product.
A new and crisp product. A more crisp product. So that's coming from me. If it's coming from me, Germ Griffin, you know it's good. But that's what I wanted to say. Julian?
Yes. So we're going to get a more crisp product, and we're going to go stronger and harder in the next season. It's going to hit more controversy. Yeah, a lot of stuff is about to change. So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for everybody that came on. Thank you for all the guests that we had. I'm not going to go through names by names, but we had some good guests, some good episodes, some good, thoughts, process. Thank you for our people who showed support, whether you watch from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you listen from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And let's go. You can follow us on WC_pod for YouTube, WC_pod on Twitter, WC_podcast on Instagram, Word of Controversy Podcast on Facebook, Word of Controversy Podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anywhere finding podcasts, Word of Controversy Podcast. And that's it for you guys. Good night, folks.